Hello and welcome to the brand new episode of Chit Chat with Mustafa Shah. आप मुझे इतवार रात 10 बजे देखते हैं और वादा वही कि गेस्ट ऐसे लेकर आऊँगा जिनसे मिल के आपको कुछ ना कुछ इंस्पिरेशन ज़रूर मिले और आपको अपने अपने करियर के अंदर अपनी ज़िंदगी के अंदर एक पुश ज़रूर मिले. So today we have an international guest. He's in chef by profession. Rajkumar Chef Devan is with us. So we're going to be talking to him, speaking to him about his career path. So the roadblocks he had initially when he was just starting up his career and what brought him to Pakistan and how did he find Pakistan so far, because I have seen him on his social media. He's just roaming around, he's going to the streets, he's enjoying all our street foods, and he's just happened to be the fan of kadai, somehow kadai and dumba. He's just been having like every day, and I've just been seeing it on the social media. So let's welcome Chef Devan. Thank you so much, Chef, for coming in.
Thank you for having me. It's a true honor and privilege. Coming to Pakistan this time is so much more meaningful than the last time. The last time I was here for maybe, I think 8 days, but now I've been here 3 weeks. I've really had a chance to soak it all in this time, and I'm having the time of my life.
I think there must be a lot of spices and oil in your body so far. Because I'm just seeing that you were having everything. You having that nehari with nalli. Then I saw you eating lamb, dumba. So how's so far your experience with Pakistan? So last time when you came in, what time it was?
It was almost 3 years to the date. So March 2020.
So of course, it was just COVID was just.
I flew back March 15th.
15th.
I called, my mom's like, Mommy, it was like, come home now, they're closing the borders.
Oh.
So I flew to London, I cooked at Borough Market, a place that I loved as a kid, and then I flew home and they closed the borders.
Oh, then you went to Canada and...
Canada closed, then closed the borders.
So Chef, let's go to let's find out your background. So you were originally Rajkumar and then, Chef Devan and AK, you're also known as Chef Dev.
Chef Dev.
Chef Dev as well. So Rajkumar is like a subcontinent name, is an Indian name. So tell us about your origin, your forefathers, and then what was your primarily in education and how did you decided to join food and beverages and then you become this big chef?
That's a very big question.
Yeah,
okay?
Both.
So I'll start with the beginning. Both my mother and my father were born in Guyana. Guyana is at the top of South America. So we have Brazil, Guyana, Venezuela, Suriname. So it's at the northern tip of Guyana. My grandparents were born in India. My dad believes that it's Rajasthan that my forefathers come from, but we're not accurate because you can imagine in the 1800s writing things down on a piece of paper. Rajkumar is going on this boat to this country. These papers, they get damaged, they get lost.
But you were just telling me that they're just in a process to digitalize it.
There are petitions that have begun to computerize, to digitize these records. It's from the 1850s, right?
Of course.
So that's where we believe Rajasthan. But my parents, my grandparents, they were born in Guyana. I was born in Canada, and I visited Guyana many, many times. I've also visited India on 4 occasions to visit and cook and enjoy. But that's a little bit about where I come from. Now, how did I get into cooking? Growing up as a kid, my dad wanted me to be a doctor.
Of course. I mean,
engineer,
the noble professions, engineer, doctor, there was a noble
law, medicine, that's what it was.
Now media is also one of the noble professions.
Now it is. But I was doing different jobs as a teenager, as an early adult. My passion was always cooking. I would follow my mother and my grandmother around in the kitchen.
And your mother is or was a very good chef?
Top.
She's your inspiration?
Mom and grandmother.
All right.
Major inspiration. But the noises in the kitchen, the smells in the kitchen, looking around, like it all excited me. And then I learned from a young age that when I cooked for somebody, it took them to a different place. I like seeing the eyes float.
So you discovered that you're gifted, naturally gifted.
I don't know that I would say I was naturally gifted, but I recognized the power that food had to make someone happy.
The language of communication which food has.
Yeah, it's nurturing, it nourishes the soul. It had a very powerful purpose. So I got into cooking, and I've been cooking professionally now for 15 years. But that's why I got into cooking, is to take care of people.
At what age you started cooking as a hobby? You were just cooking at your home?
I was
this small?
3, 4, 5 years old.
And then what education you had?
I went to culinary school in Canada. I completed a program, honors. Mustafa, let me tell you, I was going to high school and beginning of university studying accounting and statistics and all these courses I wasn't interested in. Then I went to cooking school and I'm studying mother sauces, how to make stocks, butchery, sanitation, all these things I wanted to learn about. So when I made that shift from going to business school to, my dad was a very successful businessman. When I made this shift from business school to cooking school, my eyes lit up.
And your grades went up like anything.
I couldn't wait to go to school.
All right.
For the first time, I was excited to get up out of bed and go to school.
And I always tell the people who who watch our shows or who follow us that if you have a passion and if you can make living out of your passion, that is the best blessing in the world.
It is the biggest blessing. I know a lot of people may feel that they don't have the means or the funds or the education to do it. But it's worth pursuing. We have one life. It's worth giving it everything you have.
But don't you think that people especially from subcontinent, they never discover their passion? They're always following the line. They want their elder brother, their cousin sister was successful engineer, so everyone is now becoming engineer in the family. So if a successful doctor is there, now everyone is becoming a doctor. So it's a rat race. So nobody, actually discover their passion. And by the time they discover their passion, it's too late to discover that.
It's very unfortunate when you come from a family of doctors and you feel pushed to go into that direction when your heart might be in fashion or arts or something else. Could be cooking, could be anything. It's all I can say is that I'm very grateful. I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed, that I was able to follow my passion.
So, when you were growing up, so everyone liked girls, So, have you ever reached out to a lady and she asked you, what do you do? And you said, cooking. I'm a chef. So would that be a plus point for ladies, or they will respect you more, or they will like, nah, I need somebody who's,
Where, this is a great question. Where I come from, like Canada, North America, it's a huge plus.
All right.
Because every woman, many women, many ladies, they want a man to cook for them. So I have a lot of messages on Instagram where I get messages like, please come cook for me, please be my private chef. So I think it's...
That is maybe just because of your looks as well. So we have to give some marks to your looks as well.
I've been putting on so much weight, eating karai all day, samosa and chane all day. But yeah, I think it's a plus point. And also, we talked about something before about cooks being women, and that's what it is. But where I come from, many of the cooks are men, and it's now it's a good profession to go into, given some of the circumstances. Whereas before, when I decided to be a chef, my parents weren't that happy about it.
Because the career path was not that strong. Now I think the career path is very strong, so people look up to the chef because he's making good money.
They can be. They can be, depending on your situation. There are still a lot of things wrong with the industry, like the benefits, the long hours, etc., etc. But I feel that it is getting better. But yeah, I'm very happy I got into cooking overall.
How was your, growing up when you were a child at Guyana? So what sort of a culture, the Guyana has, and is your culture is encouraging towards the young people to do whatever they want to do, or they're just like the subcontinent culture that parents or your elders they somehow influence your whatever you want to do, so they have an influence and they constantly try to condition your opinion about things?
Okay, that's a heavy question. So I was born and raised in Canada, but traveled to Guyana a lot. Most parents, you can say every parent wants their child to be successful.
Of course.
Every parent will give the kid or the child everything that they can, just to set them up better for success in life. But in Guyana, same as Canada, if you come from a Guyanese household, Guyanese are very, very hardworking people, and they want their children to make the most of their lives if possible. So growing up in Canada, the culture in my household, my parents were very hard on me. They were very strict, and they pushed me to do the best that I could. I didn't have a lot of liberties as a kid, and I rebelled even more.
Okay.
I just, as an act of rebellion, so I wasn't allowed to stay out late and this and that. So, but ultimately, they wanted the best for me.
So the Guyana has the same culture like the Pakistan has. So the parenting is very controlled.
Very much so. Guyanese, they want you to marry within the same religion.
All right.
They want you to have a partner who is very successful or a...
And this is vice versa? Even the men are looking for a successful woman, or they need housewives? Or
somebody credible.
Yeah,
looking for housewives as well. I know that there are a lot in Guyana. But Mustafa, there are so many similarities between my culture and Pakistani. Yeah, so similar, man. There's a lot of similarities. It's not as different as a lot of people may think. A lot of the customs and the traditions are very much the same.
So how many siblings you have?
I have no siblings.
So you're the only one?
No, unfortunately, my older brother, his name is Jai, he passed away in 2006.
So you had a brother?
I had a brother, and he inspires me so much. He got me into cooking, and he gave me my passion for life.
All right.
He was
also into cooking?
Yes.
He was also into cooking?
Yeah, he was into cooking and food and music and sports, and major impact on me and major inspiration on my life. I try to make him proud. I celebrate him every day.
I think you're making him proud. You're on a national channel of Pakistan. Of course, you're making him proud.
Thank you.
So you look like a rock star. Like you. Sometimes I'm watching you. So you look like a basketball player or a musician or something. So have everyone complimented you?
I don't think anyone said that to me. I mean, if I dress like this in Canada, I think it's normal.
It's normal.
I do have a lot of piercings and tattoos.
Your haircut and your tattoo, for us, this is very fascinating.
Everywhere I go, like when I'm walking through the streets eating, everyone's always looking at my arms.
Because this trend is coming into Pakistan as well.
I heard.
So people are also, making the tattoos, but for you guys, it's just a normal norm or something. So who was more supportive, your father or your mother?
Mom.
Your mother was very big support of you?
So my dad, very strict, My dad, very, very successful businessman. He was a senior VP for one of the biggest banks in the world in Canada.
I think he wants you to drive Range Rover and all the luxuries he had. He wanted the same sort of luxuries for you. So that's why he wanted
me to work hard and pick a profession that
Is he happy now that you're going abroad, you've become an international celeb and you're going everywhere?
He understands it now. I was hosting a pop-up at a restaurant in Toronto maybe 2 years ago now, and he said something to one of my best friends. He told my best friend, he looked around and the place is packed.
So I always say that, hard work always beat talent. If you're gifted, that is all right, but you have to be very, very hardworking to achieve that notch in your career.
I agree with you completely. I often say that success does not come overnight. I also feel like the youth of today look at Instagram, TikTok, and social media, and they see things that aren't necessarily true, and they see maybe potential shortcuts to get to where they want to go. I'm here to say that you have to work very, very hard. Hard work does beat talent.
And he was just telling me that he's flying out after a few days, and the time he's going to be landing in Canada, next day he's cooking.
The next day, no, I'm on a panel.
On a panel.
I'm on a panel at a conference discussing spicy food.
Oh.
And then,
I mean, I think you had the taste of spicy food.
And then we have a huge festival in Toronto called the Toronto Food and Drink Festival. Tuesday, Wednesday, the conference. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm at the festival, and I'm cooking live
But
on
you're working
stage.
from Wednesday, right? The next day you're working.
I land. Boom.
So people there's a new thing in our region that people have a jet lag. So jet lag for 1 week, they're into jet lag and they will just not do anything and just do rest.
No, I'm going to be very jet lagged because when I arrived in Pakistan at the beginning of March, I was like 4 or 5 p.m. your time was 8 a.m. No, 7 a.m. my time. And my eyes were just closing. So I know when I go back home, I'm going to have jet lag, but it doesn't matter. I have
have your caffeine.
I have too much to do.
Too much to do.
Yeah.
And there's one life that you have to stay active all the time.
The work doesn't stop.
The work doesn't stop. On this note, we're going on a short commercial break. When we come back from the break, we're going to ask him his experience in Pakistan. Let's start this food scene.
Oh,
of Pakistan.
Wow. In Canada, I'm obsessed with Desi cuisine, specifically Pakistani food.
Okay.
Any of my followers, my family, my friends, they know how much I love Pakistani food.
The other day you had mazang, you were eating that aloo ka paratha.
Bro,
dipping it into the tea, chai.
I've been everywhere.
Welcome back from the break. We're still in conversation with our amazing guest. So, as in my opening, we're going to ask you your experience about Pakistan. So, whatever you felt like, I just told him off the camera, we're not going to condition your opinion. So, I really wanted to know a few things. So, the things I wanted to know, of course, the food scene of Pakistan, the culture, the street culture, because you're roaming around freely. The other day, I was just saying that you were riding a bike, you were on a bike ride. All right.
Yeah.
So international media somehow, unfortunately, they portray the image of Pakistan that there's a political turmoil going on. There's a political problems in our country, but there's no turmoil. The seats are open. We're sitting. We're having conversation in a lighter note. You're here and you're working, and every day you're serving. There's a house full of people who are coming to your restaurant. Then there is one preconceived notion about Pakistan which is very unfortunate in international media, that there will be people roaming around on streets having big beards and having their guns, and somehow they portray us like we are in Afghanistan or somewhere. And have you seen the modern woman who can move freely in the streets, come to your restaurant,
yes,
and eat whatever they want to eat and speak their minds out without having any condition? So just there are a lot of questions. So in any order you want to answer them?
I have a lot to say. There's a lot that you just mentioned there, and I have a lot to say, but I'm trying to think how I want to start off my response.
Let's start this food scene.
Oh, wow. In Canada, I'm obsessed with Desi cuisine, specifically Pakistani food.
Okay.
Any of my followers, my family, my friends, they know how much I love Pakistani food. I'm often eating nihari. I'm looking for where has halim. Bihari boti, chapli kebab. These are all things that I love eating. Malai boti, dal makhni. All these things I love so much. So I'm always eating these things. In 2020, 3 years ago, I got a small taste of the food scene.
Because you were here for 8 days.
I landed, went to Fred, and I'm cooking at Fred in DHA for 5 days. I spent 1 day in Old Lahore. I was able to go to Waris Nihari, which was incredible. And I was able to eat a lot of cool stuff like keema paratha, stuff like that when I was here. But this trip...
The other day you had mazang, you were eating that aloo ka paratha.
Bro...
Dipping it into the tea, chai.
I've been everywhere. Tonight Nishan Baba, like Haji Nihari last night. Like I'm going everywhere. But I've been really able to soak in the food scene this time. Fortunately, I got connected with some foodies like Ali Rahman, who he taught me that Lahore is the land of channes. And we learned a lot of stuff together. We spent a lot of time together. So this time around, I'm able to experience the food. Now, one thing a lot of people, my followers, ask me is, Dev, you're eating everything, you're not getting sick. I'm not, inshallah, on this trip, I'm not getting sick.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, I'm not getting sick. And I try to go to reputable places. Even if, like for the channe, we went to Al-Amin, which is very popular. So I had halwa puri on my first day from a reputable place. I think it's important not just to eat anywhere on the street, but I'm really enjoying my time.
But you were going to all these famous street hawkers.
Yes.
Eventually there are street hawkers, there are pop-ups which are street scene.
Yes, and one of the best things about this trip, like I mentioned, is I'm really able to soak this in, but I'm learning. I never had dumbarosh before going to Ghani Sharwani. I never had it before, right? So I'm learning about all these dishes that come from different parts of Pakistan, and I'm trying to educate myself. I spend a lot of time traveling, cooking abroad.
Did you have local beer? The lassi?
I stopped drinking. Oh, yeah. I've had.
Before you say something, I got to stop you there.
I've had several. I've had several lassis, but I've really been able to learn. Mustafa, I travel to learn. I travel and cook in different parts of the world, and I explore so I can learn more. Just coming here to Pakistan after 3 weeks, I've expanded my knowledge of local ingredients and the culture so much more.
So did you? This is our, delicacy. This is a hardcore food, kadai, nihari. Did you had that continental taste of continental food as well?
Here? Some stuff.
Because our scene has grown like anything. Our continental scene has gone up.
Amuz. Chef
This
Shahnawaz.
is fine dining. That is Amuz is a niche restaurant, fine dining.
So Chef Shahnawaz came to the observatory where I'm cooking at the Fred Hotel. He came a couple times and was kind enough to invite me.
He's also a food and culinary student, graduated from culinary. He's a Switzerland graduate, I think.
He's very respected here in Lahore. So I'm grateful he had a chance to try my food, and I'm happy that I was able to try his.
I am sure he was just checking on you. He was just trying to get some skills from you.
He's a nice guy. We got connected again because one of his chefs, Mustafa, his name is Mustafa, he worked with me at Fred.
All right.
So he kind of connected us, and luckily, but when
but you had pizza, randomly burger, pasta.
You've done your research. I'm impressed.
So how was that?
It's good. It's not what I expect. It's not what I'm used to back home. I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate that I eat very good food when I'm back home. The food here has been the non-desi food has been good.
Good.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. And I'm happy. Like I was staying at the Ambience Hotel, and one night I came home from work and I ordered a cheeseburger.
All right.
Because I'm eating karais, I'm eating korma.
So you just wanted to for a change.
And it was delicious.
It was delicious. So you think that Pakistani food scene, our delicacy food
Top.
and other food, international food has gone up.
Pakistan's food scene, Lahore, I need to go to Karachi, but that's another conversation. But
overall, it's a Pakistani food, but you will find more spices over there. So we are not rich in spices. They like more spices. Karachi has a spicy food.
And seafood, right?
Yes, seafood.
I think it's important to mention that I identify with the culture here. I grew up with dal and curries and we call them karahi. Karais are kara. We grew up with those cooking vessels.
Because you're also from subcontinent.
There's Desi influence, right? So I identify with everyone here. I identify with you. I identify with the food and the culture. And I think it's important that I mention that because I feel like I'm at home. And I mentioned this on Instagram. Like I feel like I'm at home.
And our best recreation and best entertainment, best celebration, best festivity is food.
Yes.
We don't have any nightlife or anything. We do all we can do is sports and eat. Sports and eat and sleep. So this is what we can do.
Nashta.
So then let's speak about. I'm going to break it down for you so that you can answer it. You were roaming around on the streets.
Yes.
Were you ever stopped? Did somebody came and harassed you? Because you look, of course, you look foreigner,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So you were riding bikes. You were going to the, to the streets, to our walled city. So did anyone came to you and did anyone try to harass you or something?
The honest truth,
Yeah.
my experience here has been nothing but love. Coming in 2020, my Pakistani, I came here because of mutual friends that, it's a long story, but one of my best friends, Daniel,
the other day you posted this story.
yeah. So he connected me here. My friends back home, Kizar, Atiq, all my friends told me, Dev, when you go to Lahore, you're going to experience Lahori hospitality. And I didn't really know what that meant. But my experience here has been nothing but incredible. I go anywhere. Obviously, if you go looking for trouble anywhere in the world, you can attract trouble.
Of course.
There's nowhere that I have not been able to go, whether it's 3 a.m. in the morning, waiting for Dumbarosh, whether it's 6 a.m. waiting for Pika Lassi, it doesn't matter. I've had zero harassment. People stare at my tattoos a lot.
Because this is not part of our culture yet.
Yeah.
This is a new thing for us.
But other than that, I mean, Pakistan...
They must have appreciated this. What is this?
But for me, the honest truth, I look you in your eye, Pakistan is probably the most hospitable place I've ever been in my life. And I said this on Instagram when I put up a post.
There's no place that they love.
This is all the... I don't lie. I'm very transparent and genuine and authentic when I speak, and I really mean it. And I wrote that on Instagram, and I put the post up. There's no place like this.
Because I think, bro, you can speak that. You can speak your heart out because you're apolitical. You have no vested agenda. You're not part of an agenda where you have to build a narrative. So you and I, if I come to your country, I'm going to look at like a country. We don't have any vested agenda to support.
I have none.
So you were moving around freely with your phone, with your gadget, with your Apple Watch, with your Apple phone.
I'm on the back of Chef Hamza's bike like this, holding Chef Hamza.
So, have you ever, during a visit, this is like, 3 months are almost completing, you've been in Lahore in Pakistan. So did you ever, had a problem with this turmoil, political thing, but roadblocks, you can't move freely or anything?
I've experienced roadblocks, but we've always found a way to get me home or get me to my destination. I'll share something with you, bro. I get countless messages on Instagram. I started to screenshot them and share them. Chef Dev, I never knew Pakistan was this beautiful. Thank you for sharing it with me. Chef Dev, my parents were born in Pakistan. I've never been. I'm able to experience it through your eyes. Chef Dev, it's so amazing to see how beautiful and how nice and kind the people and how amazing the food is there. Not like how the media demonizes them. And I continue to get these messages. And I feel like it's part of my responsibility and duty to show how beautiful it is here.
And people will be amazed in your part of the world that such restaurant where you're working and putting posts and from the kitchen you're working. So they will never be imagined that Pakistan would have such amazing kitchens and restaurants.
They have no idea. When I took a video at Packages Mall, people were like, this is Pakistan. They had no idea. And I feel like I want to keep sharing more of it, And it's just very important that I do this because whenever we hear of Pakistan or we see it on the news back home, it's typically negative. It looks like an unsafe place. My parents didn't want me to come here.
What was the preconceived notion when you were coming in? What was your first time when you came in? What was your parents' response and what was your preconceived notion about Pakistan? Because you must have some image about Pakistan.
My preconceived notion was very good because I grew up with a lot of Pakistanis. Some of my best friends were Pakistani. They educated me. I would be FaceTiming them while they're here. I would see their stories and posts. Coming here, I knew a lot of people. In fact, in 2020, when I came, there was a good handful of people that I grew up with in Toronto. Kids that came for university. So I like Adnan, Atiq. I had friends here.
So they were here to welcome you, but you were here.
Yes. So I always had people around me and I was always well taken care of. But prior to coming, I was a little bit nervous because of a lot of people are like, Dev, why are you going to Pakistan? A lot of people are like, Dev, why are you going back to Pakistan? And now that they see me here, they understand. Now that I have 300 stories on my Instagram, the Pakistan highlights, and the videos that I've been posting, now so many people want to shop here.
At the moment, your Instagram is full of Pakistani content.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Lots.
I mean, we just the one purpose of this interview was we wanted to thank you for coming to Pakistan. We wanted to celebrate your success, and the other was we wanted to have your candid feedback. So if we can put this interview on on social media, so people can, because of social media, there are no boundaries. You never know who is watching you sitting in what part of the world. So now coming to the woman part, the people,
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about girlfriend.
Because unfortunately, the people who come to Pakistan, they just, they meet our labor class, the people who are working in the streets, and they somewhat try to go to all the poor places. And they've been guided by people that they take you to the walled city, and they go to the area where people are less fortunate. And then there are areas in Pakistan, and I think everywhere in Ghana, in Canada, in states, they're posh areas where there are people who are more blessed with money, they live. And then there is less fortunate people who has less money. But did you ever found slums here? In India, you can find slums and people lying on the roads, people sleeping in the streets. Have you seen that? And have you seen the modern art and culture and architecture, modern cars, and people are speaking to you in your language?
I've seen lesser, like very poverty-ridden areas in Lahore. In Pakistan, since I've been here, I've seen very, very poor people. There are some poor people on the streets.
Of course.
But that's everywhere. That's in Canada.
That's in state. Dallas is full of homeless people.
It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. I've traveled to India 4 times. There's a lot of poverty over there, but that's not a true, fair description
of Pakistan,
of how I spend my time here. I'm very well looked after. There's a lot of culture here. There's the museums. There's a lot of things to do here. There's a lot of stuff. There's a bustling nightlife scene here as well. I don't think it's right just to take videos or just to see the slums and then generalize the rest of Pakistan. That's not fair. That's not what I see. And on my Instagram, a lot of people are seeing it through my POV, through my point of view, right? And you can see what I see. I'm not really picking things and not picking things. I shoot and I post. A lot of the places that I went to eat, they're not very fancy. The meal cost maybe $1 US.
Of course.
It's not a fancy place. I'm not going to only fancy
But you're
places.
also going to the fancy place as well.
I'm doing A to Z.
Yeah, but the best part is that you're exploring our culture completely, from A to Z. Unfortunately, the people who come from abroad, they just, explore our other culture, the poverty, the part of our culture.
That's everywhere.
That is also the reality of Pakistan. But then there is a modern, liberal, light-minded people, who want to excel in their life. So have you met light-minded people as well in here?
I've met all kinds of different types of people, to be honest with you. You also mentioned something earlier. You were talking about the politics that are here. I have gotten messages, Dev, Pakistan looks like it's in trouble, or I see a lot of stuff in the news, and I have to respond that like everything is totally fine. It doesn't. I don't get involved in the politics. I don't get involved in the politics here. I don't get involved in the politics in Guyana.
That is all. That's the best way to go about it.
I don't get involved in the politics in Canada. I just mind my own business. And I keep just trying to do what I do, and that's inspire people to cook and inspire people to eat and have passion for life. That's my motto, that's my mission, that's what I focus on. I don't get involved. Like I said, there's some roadblocks here and there and stuff, protests. I don't really see it. I haven't really seen it for my eyes. It's interesting to be driving down the road and see 2 trucks blocking. But other than that, blackouts I experience.
Because this is, our elections are just across the corner. So elections will be happen this year or next year. These are part of political campaign. So everywhere. But in West, there is a certain sort of way of doing the rallies and doing the political campaign. Unfortunately, over here you have to block the street and people come on the street, and this is how they advertise themselves. And this is how they put across their manifesto and their political agenda to other people.
Right, and this is not the West. This is Pakistan, right? And Guyana's Guyana, and Indonesia's Indonesia. It's not fair to, just because if someone's watching something and it's different from what they understand and what they're used to, it's not fair to say that that's
you're
wrong or right.
And Mustafa, we need to realize that we can't merge in.
We are brothers.
Yes, and we are.
End of story. That's how all I see is All I see is a fellow human.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't see anything else.
Coming to the woman part, have you seen the normal woman wearing normal clothes, Western clothes, and roaming around?
Everywhere. Sorry, I shouldn't say everywhere. I'm working at the observatory.
Yes.
We have very busy nights. It's been 2.5 weeks. Every single night, women come in wearing regular clothes. And then I have photos of testimonials of people on my Instagram. And I keep referencing Instagram because if anyone visits my Instagram, I have Pakistan highlights on my main page. So all my stories live there. So anybody watching that's like, what's this guy talking about? Or can I see?
So they can connect.
You just go and click and you click through. From me being at JFK Airport all the way to today. You just click through and you'll see all the guests coming.
But you found the different colors and diversity in the culture.
I've seen everything.
So people who want to dress up conservatively, they're dressing up conservatively. People who want to dress up, liberally, they can dress up liberally.
I've seen
Nobody is there to condition their opinion.
Zero.
On this note, we are going on short commercial break. से जब वापस आएंगे, आपका favorite segment कड़वे घूंट इंतजार कर रहा है. There's a thing called driver, but it does not drive, but yet called driver.
What is it?
Was it?
It's a driver who doesn't drive.
Yes. Let's put it this way.
An influencer.
Influencer?
Yes.
That drives you?
They drive
They drive you crazy.
They drive traffic to their social media pages.
Welcome back from the break. We are still in conversation with our amazing guest और अब time आ गया कड़वे घूंट का. As I was telling you, this is the favorite segment of the show. I'm going to ask you a question. If you know the answer, you have to give an answer. If you don't give any answer or a wrong answer, you have to sip on that Coffee Planet's espresso shot.
Okay.
So wrong answer has no negative marking. But I mean, it's not going to be hard for him because he's a coffee lover. He's just said that the coffee tastes amazing. So I'm giving you a case. So Ahmed, mother has 3 children.
Okay.
So the name of the children was today, and the other child name is yesterday. What is the name of the third child?
Can you say it again?
I can. And by the way, I like blank faces. Ahmed, mother has 3 children.
Okay.
One child named today. One child is named yesterday. And what is the name of the third child?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Are you sure?
I don't know.
Congratulations. You have given a wrong answer. Just sip on that espresso shot and I'm going to tell you the right answer.
Please.
Ahmed, mother had 3
What's the first word you're saying?
Ahmed is the name. Ahmed let's say Rajkumar.
Okay.
Mother had 3 children. So the one child name is Rajkumar, of course.
Yeah.
The other siblings are yesterday and today. So Rajkumar mother has 3 children.
Yeah.
All right. So the one child name is Rajkumar, of course.
Yes.
And you missed that part. So moving on. There is a driver. There's a thing called driver, but it does not drive, but yet called driver.
You're asking me the question?
Yeah. Do you want me to repeat that question?
Yes, please.
Driver usually is somebody who drives car, motorbike or anything.
Okay.
But this person or character or a thing does not drive any car or a vehicle, but yet called driver.
What is it?
Was it? The celebrity chef, the international chef is stuck in this segment, and this is...
It's a driver who doesn't drive.
Yes. Let's put it this way.
An influencer.
Influencer?
Yes.
That drives you?
They drive
you crazy.
They drive traffic to their social media pages.
But they don't drive any vehicle, right?
But is it someone who drives?
Yes.
I'm just gonna take a sip.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a sip.
Just take a sip. So the right answer is the screwdriver or a computer driver who's driving something. It's called driver, right? Influencer is called influencer.
Yeah.
The screwdriver is not screw the screwdriver,
Yeah.
or the computer, the driver, the computer has a driver as well. It is not driving the vehicle, but yet called driver, right?
I'm going to finish this soon, I think, by
We're
the
going to
end.
serve you with another one.
Yeah, I figured.
But you have a service, there's a
God.
lot of caffeine. So now you know how to answer the questions.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But we like that blank
Thodi
faces. Thodi. So moving on, what are the two things which you cannot have in breakfast?
What are two things you can't?
Two things which you cannot have in breakfast. The chef is here.
Is this a Pakistani thing or what?
No.
It's world.
No, it's a common sense thing.
What are two things? Lunch
You
and
cannot
dinner.
have in breakfast.
Lunch and dinner.
Congratulations, this is the right answer. So finally, Chef Devan, common sense is working, the coffee is going in and it's creating, no, you don't have to sip it. If you want to sip it, then it's not a dent.
I don't know if I'm going to get any more right, so I'm going to leave it for now. I'm already feeling.
Moving on. Which month has 28 days? Feb. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you think we are so imbecile that we're going to ask you such easy questions? You want to give it a second shot? You're my friend and you invited me for a dinner. That's why I'm just,
Which month has
28 days. Do you want to give it a second shot?
Feb?
Think out of box.
Which month has 28 days?
Sushi is always bribe me, bro.
Sushi's always?
Bribe me. So you have bribed me somehow. I'm being very lenient, but otherwise I'm very strict.
Which month has 28 days?
Feb is technically a right answer. Feb. But think out of the box. This is common sense. Use that common sense. Gyana boy.
All I can feel is the espresso flying through my head. Which month has 20?
Now I'm going to give you a countdown. 10, 9. Just fluke. Put up.
I don't even know what direction to go with this answer.
Apart from Feb, just think about it. Which month has 28 days? The question has the answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 0, 3, 2, 1. Now you know what to do. Sip it.
Answer.
Every month has 28 days.
I understand.
Now you understand. So moving on. If you're running in a race, if you're running in a race and you cross a person or a participant who was on second place, now you cross that person, on which position now you are placed on?
Say it again. Sorry, I was laughing. If I'm running a race and
This is the person.
Yep.
You crossing.
Yeah.
This is you. This is the person. You're crossing. You've crossed this person. And this person was placed on second position. Now on what position are you placed? Second?
Yeah.
Do you want me to give any marks for making things so easy?
No.
No, for giving you a life example? So congratulations, this is the right answer. Most of the people answered first because everyone wants to come first in their life, but this is the right answer. So if you're sitting at your home, you can clap for Chef Devan. So moving on. What travel faster, light or sound? Haha. Childhood sort of a thing. Let me know if you want me to help you.
Light.
Light? Travel faster?
Than sound.
Why? What made you think like that?
I just feel like it does. I think light travels 300,000 kilometers per second.
I don't know. That is a technical thing, but there's a common sense to it. Your answer is right. The sense is that whenever, when we were child, when we were young, we used to watch that, aeroplane is going.
The lightning.
And the sound used to come after it once
same
passed.
with lightning.
Yeah, so light traveled faster than the sound. Congratulations, this is your third right answer. So moving on, the vitamin you get from sun.
D.
Excellent, that's why they're always lying on the beaches to get that vitamin. Don't get them wrong. So moving on, who invented the bulb?
The what?
Bulb. The light, the bulb. Bulb.
I know.
Yeah. You were going very fast, so I thought give you a tough one.
Hold on.
In your restaurant, that bulb, who invented the bulb, that style of bulb are also placed hanging.
Who invented the light bulb?
The bulb, the light bulb, who invented it?
Is there a Thomas in there?
Thomas Edison. The answer, that is the correct answer. Now you know that there are a lot of restaurants and everywhere there is the lights is called the Edison bulb.
Doing okay.
You're doing perfect.
Maybe I'm speaking too soon.
How many bones are there in human body?
Oh my God.
Are you clueless?
There's like 200 in your hand. There's a lot in your hand.
200 in your hand.
There's a lot. How many bones?
Bones are in human body.
I don't get a hint here?
No.
No multiple choice?
No multiple choice.
I can't choose D, huh? No. How many bones are in the human body?
Just a random guess.
20.
320. 320. 320.
Yeah.
Approximately, you have 112 more bones than a normal person. So the right answer is 206. Now you know what to do. On count of 2, 3, 1.
It's been a
Sip
while.
it.
It's been a while.
So the last question. I'm going to ask a question and I'm going to give you a buzzer. So I'm going to start counting from 10 till 1. So in that time, you have to answer the question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3 things you are fast at. Fast at. 10,
Math,
9,
cooking,
8, 7, 6,
dancing.
5. Excellent. So this is perfect.
Okay.
So now you want to sip that?
I think I've had enough.
You had
I'm
it.
feeling like...
But thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure. In the end, we turned the coffee tables and you become me and I become you. You got to ask me one question. So you can ask me anything you want.
I love that. And I would like to know, first of all, I want to say, can I say a few things?
Yeah, please.
What I want to say first and foremost is what an amazing experience it is coming here. And you are very reflective of the time that I've had here in Pakistan. You've been very warm, welcoming, engaging, and you've done your homework. You know, you're an awesome dude. That's the first thing. So I guess the question that I have for you is I've shared with you why I cook, and it's to nourish people, but I want to know, where do you get your inspiration for what you do?
I think that is a very valid and intelligent question, but thank you so much for coming in. And I've been in media for a very long time. I've been hosting shows for a very long time, but there are very few people who excites me. There are very few opportunities which excites me. So your interview, there were a lot of chaos we went through just to have you on the show and just to speak to you. So I was, after a very long time, I was very exciting meeting somebody because you have that positivity in you and don't let that go away from you.
Okay.
Because I was seeing on your social media, you were speaking to your mates, your subordinates or your friend in the kitchen. They hardly know what you were saying, but they were connected with you with the language of food. So, you know, keep up doing that amazing work you're doing. You're exploring the world and you're bringing that positivity. This is something which I think your mother and your parents has put in you. So don't let that light die down.
I won't. Thank you.
So I came into media. So I've studied media and, you know, I did my undergrad, then I did my master's and specialization. And I wanted to work, always wanted to work for behind the camera, and I love the digital media because I at that point of time I knew that digital media is going to be the new world and it's the new future. So I was very much declined towards digital media. But somehow I got an opportunity. I was tall like you, and you know, there some people said that I was outdoor sort of a guy, sports, gym. So somebody said, "Yeah, why don't you sit in front of camera?" I sat down in front of camera. Camera loved me. People were, you know, very appreciative about me. So the only reason I accepted this goal and accepted this role of sitting in front of media was, in front of camera, was that I wanted to bring some change and value to other people's life. So my decision was correct whenever I have people like you on my show, and I'm now in a position to control things and put the exact image of Pakistan in front of media.
Right.
So I think the people like you were the reason I started hosting.
Wow, that's an amazing answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. for coming in and we look forward to having you again on the show very soon.
Inshallah.
अगर आपको शो पसंद आया हो और आपको शेफ डेवन की स्टोरी पसंद आई हो तो फीडबैक, अगर आप सोशल मीडिया पे हमें देख रहे हैं तो अपना फीडबैक जरूर दीजिएगा, बिकॉज योर फीडबैक हेल्प अस टू इवॉल्व.